back. This is 26 Sports, episode number 20. It's your host, Mike Reza, with the one and only WBO Junior Lightweight Champion of the World, Jamel Semper Herring. How you doing today, man?
What's going on, man? Man, you're already on episode 20.
Yeah,
Didn't you start off the first one as episode one?
yeah. I got them all kind of.
That's great.
I got 20 in English, 3 in Spanish, and I got 2 recaps.
That's what's up, man. That's
Yeah.
what's up, man.
So I gotta keep working at it, So yeah, I'm on 20. You were the first guest, and now you're the 20th again.
That's what's up, though.
Yeah. So man, well, let's get into it, man. You got your next fight a week and a half from today. Third time's a charm. Hopefully, everything that's gone on from the first time we talked, leading into that fight, up to now.
Right.
So, what's this third extended training camp been like now with everything that's gone on?
I look at it. It's probably been a blessing in disguise, bro. Like, the way I feel now compared that I did in July, it's like a totally different person. You know what I mean? Like my body has recovered even more, or as I can say, and I feel a lot stronger. The more important thing is, like I said, with the COVID, it attacks your respiratory system. So I can say that my lungs are a lot stronger now.
Yeah.
So the stamina won't be an issue. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I just can say that I'm just happy that I have a great team like Top Rank and ESPN behind me because, you know, Stephen Fulton with his situation when he had caught the virus, his fight got postponed. He's supposed to fight Leo with the vacant WBO title, and now we don't know how long he'll have to wait in order to get his shot. But and unlike in my situation, Top Rank and ESPN they just quickly rescheduled the fight, just like that. They had the date, so. I guess I can't really complain. I'm still in that time frame. That's still in that summer time frame to fight. So
Yeah.
we just gotta go from there.
Yeah, and then I know when we talked about it before, you told me how you'll probably take 2 weeks off after this fight should you win, and go right back into camp for Carl Frampton. Now,
Right.
knowing that it's going to be so extended, of training camp pretty much for you, do you feel like that might be damaging a little bit, or do you feel just the way that you work and knowing when to rest that it's going to help you out more?
Like I said, with the last situation with the second postponed date, what was July 14th, whatever.
Yeah,
I took a week and a half off. I took a week and a half off to go home just to recuperate, spend time with my family, and pretty much all I needed. It was just that 2 week period, and I came back. My body was a lot fresher. You know what I mean? I have smart trainers, so they knew what to basically pick up off. And from the last camp, it's not like we completely started from square one, where I'm at a point where I'm overtraining.
yeah,
So, my trainers, there's, like I said, man, they done tremendous work with like guys like Bud Crawford. We just seen Robert Brandt got a victory over the
yeah,
weekend, and now they're working on Maurice Hooker. So like, they know me well, and they know how to turn it up and when to turn it down. Like right
yeah,
now, it's the week that we're turning things down. You know what I mean? We're toning everything down this week, and then next week we're just basically gonna just focus on just cutting the extra weight off or nothing like that. So they always have a plan in place. So I'm not really worried about it. Even like I said, I just wanted to get a full 8 week camp in either way. You know what I mean? 8 to 6 weeks, but I prefer 8 weeks because it gives
yeah,
me more time to with my team anyway. But I'm not really worried about that. I'm not really worried. My main thing right now is just to make sure to come out this fight without any bumps and bruises or worse, any cuts.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So that's my main concern. But other than that, I'm not really worried about the whole the training or being going back to camp 'Cause, you see it, bro. I love to
Yeah.
train anyway, so
Yeah.
it's not gonna bother me.
Yeah, and like I told you last week, man, seeing you train, hype me up while I'm in the warehouse over there, got me doing push-ups and shadow
Yeah.
boxing, man. I'm telling you, I probably looked ridiculous to everybody on camera. Just look to the side and see me over there doing push-ups. But yeah, as you said, you love to train, man. You're always in shape, and like I was laughing about it the other day. I was like, you and Sean Porter through the whole pandemic and this whole situation are probably the two fighters that look the most complete, like in form, as opposed to so many other
Right.
fighters. I mean, you guys just look like you guys stay in shape year round. And this one for you, I mean, it's been kind of because of the COVID situation, but
And
still,
it's
you,
crazy. And it's crazy, bro. Like, if you look at me and Sean, we're guys right now in our 30s, but
yeah,
we stay active and and just stay on course because you never know you get that call. I mean, Sean looked like the typical Sean Porter that we seen
yeah,
over the weekend. Just
yeah,
he's gonna push the fight. He's gonna bully you. He's gonna dog you. And that's
right,
because Sean stays ready all year round.
yeah,
So I mean, like I said, it's all about how you take care of yourself and like what you do outside of the ring. Because there are situations where you'll find fighters that overtrain and it shows up at the wrong time. But I don't have to worry about that. You know what I mean? Like there's actually times, to be honest with you, where I actually wanna, but my trainers, they'll push me back. Like, no, no, no. You like, even like today. I think we did like 10 rounds or something like that. And I'm thinking like, well, I'm supposed to go do this many rounds this week. There's like, no, no, no. Look, we're cutting. I told you, Mel. We're shutting. We're coming. We're bringing it down. Now we're bringing it down. We're bringing it down. You've done it. You're already in shape. You've done it. You've done everything you had to do in camp. Now we just want to focus and tune on little things. And that's why you see when I posted the video today.
yeah.
My trainer, Brian McIntyre, he's like, man, you're strong, man. You're because I'm a worker, but yeah, like I said, I have a smart team where sometimes I don't know my own good, but they pull me back and
Yeah.
they keep me from overdoing it.
And that's the good thing because you got the team that's going to know when you're going to push yourself, that they're going to take care of you. And just as if there was ever a situation where you may be seriously hurt, you know that they're going to protect you as well. And that's the type of team you
Exactly.
need. Because as we always say, sometimes the fighters need to be saved from themselves. And,
Right.
but I mean, I haven't seen that in your case recently, so I don't think that's something we got to worry about. But
Yeah.
one thing I want to talk to you about too is I got to give you massive respect to giving Aquendo still the chance. I mean, I know a lot of people talked about the fight like, oh, does he deserve it or not? But regardless of the situation, how they feel, he was in training camp just like you. He was getting ready for the
Right.
fight just like you. And, you could have easily been like, I'll just wait till Frampton comes up in November and that's good. But you still gave the fight to Aquendo because as we said, he's been training for it and been ready for it. So regardless of how anybody else feels, you gave him the opportunity and you're still giving him the opportunity and we should see how it goes next Saturday.
Right. I mean, yeah, and that was just basically the honorable thing to do. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like man, I know personally on my end, like how much I've invested. Because like train camps are not cheap, so I
Yeah.
can just imagine, what he's invested in his camp. And just to be like make all this investment and then take away, from my earning a living and earning a
Yeah.
paycheck. That was just kind of been wrong on our end. Because like I said, I could have easily just said. Oh, all right, whatever. I'll wait to start my next training camp in September for the Frampton fight, and I'll be fine with that. But
Yeah.
no, like I wanna get back in there because like I said, my last fight was in November.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're not getting any younger, so I want to knock this and see if I got any ring rust that I need to knock off. But because like I said, when it's time to fight Frampton, I want to be at my best. I want to be in tip top shape. So, but yeah, I mean. Going back to even to the Kendall fight, I'm not doubting how I would have performed in July if they would allow me to fight. But I even said it myself that I felt like he probably had a better chance at giving me issues during that time period than now because like I said, I had time to actually just rest and recuperate and clear my head and I just basically just started this training camp from like square one. I didn't look at it
Yeah.
like, oh man, I gotta go back to camp week number 12 or whatever. No, I just took it as okay. We're gonna reset button and we're gonna just start from square one mentally. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Like I'm really hungry because now I look at it as for me, I had to find something to boost me up in for certain fights. And like my thing now was like, okay, now I want to outperform Carl Frampton from his last performance. You know what I mean? So that's my motivation going into this fight.
Yeah, and I mean, whoever was following along during that fight of Frampton was seeing your reaction through the whole thing. You were the biggest fan of his at that time, man. So that was pretty funny. But speaking of his performance, I know to me it wasn't the Frampton we're used to seeing. He did do what he had to do at the end of the fight, but I'm wondering if that maybe had to do with the late switching opponents or anything. But regardless, now to draw up more interest, should you do something, like knock out Oquendo, but more spectacularly, it's gonna bring that
Right.
fight up more because regardless of what he did, it ended with the guy just saying, hey, I'm done, I'm done. No, I don't want no more. So
Yeah,
now,
I can't really go off of much on that fight because like I said, you've seen the same thing that even he admitted that it wasn't his best performance.
yeah,
And he said it in many interviews afterwards that if he plans on beating me, he's gonna have to do better. And I commend him for being honest because
yeah,
you get a lot of guys out there. They get the W and they'll make up every excuse in the book or try to
justify it.
sway you into believing that try to sway you into believing that was a dominating performance or whatever. But I've seen things that I was kind of like a little iffy about because I'm like, this late replacement or not, the guy was still able to really mark him up, touch him
Yeah,
up a bit. I seen some swelling coming in. And like I said, this guy, I look at everything. This guy's been basically every time he stepped up, he's been knocked out anyway. So that was expected. That
yeah,
was expected. I look at that. I knew that was expected. My thing was, let's see how Carl Frampton looks overall. We,
yeah,
we know this guy is supposed to basically, lay down at one point in time in the fight. But let's see what happened. And I kind of took it as, I used to I like me. I've been a fan of Carl Frampton for years, and I like the Carl Frampton that I remember. That I really like watching was the one that fought Scott Quigg in the first
hmm,
Leo Santa Cruz fight. That Carl Frampton was more elusive and sharp. He was more of a slick boxer. The one that we seen recently, he was kind of heavy. He's kind of heavy on his feet.
yeah,
He was a little hesitant. He was hesitant at times, in certain he looked like he just wasn't interested at times either, and he was just in there, So, but like that could be the case because it may be because he couldn't find the motivation for that opponent, or it could be, this just the version of Carl Frampton that we had to see and deal with in today's world. So, but like I said, at the end of the day, I'm still gonna keep in my mind the best Carl Frampton as possible. But
yeah.
yeah, like man, like I said, it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best that we've seen, but it is what it is. He got the W. Now it's my job to go out there and get the W as well.
Exactly, exactly. And as you said, it wasn't the best, but as I was thinking, maybe it was the opponent. But yes, when Trainer would step up, he was getting knocked out, and it wasn't like he was getting knocked out where he was competitive and then he was dropped. He was getting knocked out early in
Right.
fights. Every time he stepped up, he was knocked out in the second or third or somewhere around there. So I
Exactly,
expected it
and
too.
I seen a lot of people actually even on that were Carl Frampton fans because one guy was saying that he had placed a bet that Carl Frampton would get him out before the fifth. And then he came and he was like, "Oh man, I just lost money because why is this guy sticking around this long?" So yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. And it's like, cause when I seen this fight, when I seen the guy, I was like, to me also it didn't really do much in terms of Carl Frampton getting ready to fight me. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like at least with the league, you say with Okendo, the guy is 5'4.5". Carl Frampton is 5'5". Short in
yeah,
stature. He's gonna have to come. He's gonna have to basically work his way to get to me. So that was the whole thing. That's the whole reason why we chose Okendo in terms of the look to get ready for a Carl Frampton fight. But with Trainer, it was like for starters, he wasn't a southpaw. He was
nope,
maybe a little bit taller. He was a little bit taller than Carl, but he wasn't. He wasn't durable. At least I can say with Okendo. Okendo's a durable dude.
yeah,
Regardless of what you may say about him, he's a durable dude. So
yeah.
like that's how like if you're not getting anything out of the fights from learning, it's like what's the point?
Yeah, it's like he had to do it, but if it would have been like him as a contender going up to fight you, and it was this is a guy that Herring's gonna fight. Off of that performance, people wouldn't be hyped because
Right.
we know what Frampton is and what he's gonna bring. It's still okay. It's gonna be a good fight. Hey, he still stopped him. But if it was anybody else, it would have been you know what, maybe Herring goes somewhere else. But it's still
Right,
it's still
and
gonna be a
then
good
people
fight.
didn't take into consideration though. Take consideration also with Carl Frampton's original opponent. His original opponent was the same height as him, so it was
Yeah,
like I was kind of confused on like what direction are they going with these fights because
yeah,
it doesn't basically get them prepared for anything. You know, coming with a guy like me, you know what I mean. So I was kind of thrown off either way from the original opponent as well. But the original opponent was the same height and
yeah.
stature as him, so I don't know, man. Like I just have to like I don't know. I don't know what they're preparing for. And then when I see his interviews, they don't really speak on like what they're better than me at. If you really pay attention, they try to. It seems like they trying to bank on me not making weight. They always bring up my size and weight, but I never missed weight ever in my life
Yeah.
in terms of as a professional or amateur. I never missed weight, so it's like if you're relying on me to basically hoping that I have weight struggles and trouble making the weight, then you're gonna be in for a long night because
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you, man. Like but that's not gonna be the case. You know,
Yeah.
I'm preparing when I look at Carl Frampton, I'm preparing for his strengths as well as weaknesses. But but if with them is all they mention now is oh he's a big guy. It's like I don't know if the people mentally got in his head like oh Jamel is just too big, and now they're hoping that well maybe he's too big that he can't make the weight. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I don't know, man. But I see and hear everything, and then I don't see anything from their perspective that deals with anything with tactics or technique.
And you know what? A lot of times that could be their way to try to frustrate or bug you is let's bring up weight.
And you know
So,
that's not
yeah,
happening.
I know. I mean, we've talked. I've seen everybody go at you on Twitter and stuff, and you just laugh it off or whatever. So, but maybe that's
Yeah.
their way to try to play a mind game to think
Maybe,
where
yeah,
you might
they
overtrain or
just throwing
something.
they just throwing stuff out there. Maybe they're
Yeah,
throwing stuff out there, but for me, I'm just like, hey, man. I mean, but when I read his reaction in interviews, it seems like they really worried because even like Frank Warren, it gets like that I had to shut him up, and he, you know, because I'm like, hey, man, like just last week, I was literally 137 and a half. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And but you look at me, I'm not. My face isn't sunk in now. I'm not like you know. You like bro. You've been around boxing long enough to know when fighters when they drain, you hear it in their voice.
yeah,
You see how they react to things. You know you can see it in their face.
yeah,
But like for me, you know, I have a nutritionist for a reason, so that's the reason why I don't worry about the weight.
yeah. And as you said, you could see it. I mean, many times Eric Morales was weight drained. You could see it. You could see it in his face. You could always tell the amount of water or Pedialyte or whatever they're drinking during like a break period. I've seen that with fighters where it's like, okay, break, and then they go and chug a big old thing of water or
They're chugging
Gatorade,
it.
and it's like, man, and it's while they're straining themselves to get down to that weight as opposed to making sure they're going to get there. It's my little daughter in the
Right.
background right now, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. She was there. I was gonna wave to her, but she exited real
Yeah,
quick.
she always wants to get in on the show. She's always telling me. But you know, I know though with so many camps too that you've had, it's had to be a little hard on you being away from the family and your kids as well. How's that been going for this time?
That's the see that I'm glad that's the only thing that's pretty much gonna bother me going into the next camp is the time away from family. Because this, like I say, as you already know, this fight has taken enough time from family as it is. Like I've been
Yeah,
training since what May, since
yeah,
like end of May. You know what I mean? On and off. But I think that is the main thing that's probably going to get to me is the fight from family. So when I do go home for after this fight, I'm definitely going to you know, cherish that moment and spend it and do as much as I can, squeeze in that certain amount of time. But
yeah,
I think if anything, mentally, that's the only thing that's going to get to me is the family thing. You know, not the whole training camp or you know training. Like I said, training for me is fun. It's what I do. It's what I love for a living. But like you know, you can't get time back. So you know, all that time you missing with family, it's like I got to make it up somehow. But that's why I feel like I have to go out here and take care of business because you know I'm out here for a reason. I'm working
yeah,
for a reason, so I don't want it to go to waste for nothing. You know,
yeah.
I'm not here out here to play because you know I've lost plenty of time with my family, and now I got to make up some way or some spectacular fashion.
Yeah, and the reason I brought that up is because I know you and I see how you post things about your kids all the time. So I hate when I'm at work to be away from my daughter. So I could only imagine you being not even in the same town, state, so far away
Right.
consistently from your kids. So I know it frustrates you, but as you said, the fight should be in November. Why, Frampton?
Right.
Yeah. So
It's crazy. You know, it's funny, man. I think about now. I understand, like, basically being a world champion. I understand where Miguel Cotto would come from when he used to always speak about, how he used to hate being away from his family
yeah,
and how his wife used to she was glad when he retired. And now
yeah,
I understand why, because it's not just hard on you. It's definitely hard on family.
yeah,
So I was look back on, like, those when Miguel used to speak on his family on the HBO 24/7
yeah,
series about how he used to be, he used to hate that so much that he used to be away from his family. He used to bring after a while he started bringing his family to him in
yeah.
camp. But I understand why now, man. And I understand why he even says today that he's happy with retirement, because he's given boxing so much of his life. Is now it's time for him to focus solely
On his kids.
on his family. Yeah,
Yeah,
so I respect that, man, and I understand why. Now I understand.
yeah, and you know, as you said, not just boxers. I mean, Kobe, as we said, um, how his last game he talked about to his wife all the sacrifices she made, and then in the 4 years that he was retired, you seen how happy he just looked as a dad. Being around his kids all the
Right.
time. So it's definitely something that I mean, me, like I said, it's 10, 11 hours a day that I'm away from her. You guys, I mean, you guys are weeks, months at a time, so it's definitely something. But you know what you're doing it for. You're doing it to make it
Right.
better for them. So definitely, and you got to keep fighting, making that money, so your daughter keep using your card and buying everything online like she has been.
Right. Yeah, birthdays. Matter of fact, I got a birthday coming up in 2 days. So yeah,
Oh
man.
man, oh man, I could only imagine what she's asked for already.
Oh my God, man. Don't even get me started, bro.
Yeah, my daughter's isn't until October, but she already has plans, gifts, and parties set up. I'm like, man,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And these kids, they don't understand this whole COVID thing.
yeah,
So when they figure that when their birthday comes around, they think this whole pandemic was to stop. And
yeah,
they supposed to have this extravagant party and bash. But
yeah,
man, like I said, as fathers, we try to do, like, you already know, bro. We try to do the most we possibly can for our
yeah,
kids, man, in
exactly.
any situation.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we went to the beach recently, and that's my daughter's favorite thing. She was waking up at 6 o'clock for like 4 days straight, telling everybody, "Hey, we're going to the beach." It's like, man, go back to sleep. We're not going until Tuesday. Relax. So yeah. So once we went, man, it was fun, and she loves the beach, and I like going out there. It's relaxing and all that. So as you said, for our
That's
kids,
good.
man, you do anything. Yeah. So now let's talk about the weekend. You had, as you said, Rob Brandt on Saturday put an amazing performance
Right.
to me. Because what a lot of people talked about with him was how is he going to adjust to Bomac? Because as we know, Rob is quick. He gets out there and he throws punches. How is he going to
Right.
adjust to Bomac, slowing him down? Telling him to relax. Obviously, you worked with him. You've seen him in camp, but how did you see him on Saturday? Did you expect that, or were you a little bit more impressed than you thought you would be?
I was actually more impressed. I was actually, honestly, to be truthful, I was actually more impressed because, like I said, Rob has always been a high paced fighter. I
Yeah,
mean, if you really look at it, he did actually still work at a high pace, but he was more calculated with his
it was
shots.
more
You know what I mean? He
controlled.
wasn't. Yeah, he was more control. He wasn't in there, swinging for the fences or just
Hmm.
throwing out anything. He was setting up shots. He was basically setting up his distance. You know what I mean? He was doing great. He was doing great in terms of range finding with his jab. He was more poised. Because at first he was real jittery. He just
Yeah,
had that old. But as the fight progressed, he got calm, and he was still able to pick the guy apart
yeah,
at a smooth pace, and he still was able to control the action. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It was his fight.
yeah.
So, like I said, I was impressed, and I was happy to see, he's back in the win column and potentially back on the road to getting another shot at the title.
Yeah, I mean, when I was watching it, I was sitting there and I was like, as you said, he came out jittery, and then slowly, slowly, I was just like, oh, he's starting to dominate this man. And then with that swelling on that eye, I was like, no, this
Yeah.
is
Oh
gonna
yeah.
stop
Yeah.
soon. There's no way this goes another couple rounds. And
I mean, yeah, and some complain about about the stoppage, but if you look at like it's at the point where boxing they're trying to look out for more fighters' health, and it's like it wasn't
exactly.
like if it was like a close fight, I can understand them
Yeah.
letting him continue because the fight is because the fight could have been up for grabs, but like after a while the fight was being so far apart
Yeah.
that they probably the commission didn't see any reason for them and the referee for him to continue, because
Yeah.
Rob had the fight pretty much in the back the later rounds on the scorecard. So
Yeah.
they just basically did what was right in terms of for the fighter's safety. So I can't be mad about that.
Yeah, and that was my thing too with the fight with Sebastian Fundura and Nathaniel Gallimore was some people were like, "Wow, they stop it. He's not bleeding." But it was at that point Gallimore was no longer a threat to win that fight. He was just
Yeah.
going to take unnecessary punishment. Why? Why keep letting it go? And it was the punches you could tell were starting to have more effect. I mean, the first beginning of the fight, he was getting hit. It was normal. Now he was getting hit. His head was snapping back, or his legs would start to
Right,
wobble.
right,
And
and then like the uppercut,
oh
he's
my
just lazy
god,
with the uppercut all night.
yeah,
So like, what was the point? I
yeah,
mean, to go out as a tough guy now, there's no
yeah,
point.
yeah. You want to get home and go home to your family at the end of the day. You get the respect that you step in the ring without a doubt. But yeah, why? So when they stopped it, I was like, perfect timing. That was the right way to stop it. And
Right,
even to me,
we've seen enough.
yeah, even to me with the as we talked about with Sean Porter, after about the seventh or eighth round, I was like, if they want to stop it, they can, because there's nothing that
Right.
Formela's going to do to bring this to a point where I think if he lands that one shot, it's over. It was like he landed so many.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
wasn't that. Yeah, that definitely wasn't happening, man. That definitely wasn't happening.
yeah. Porter was just on. To me, Porter is a top 5 welterweight right now, without a doubt. So, I mean, he did what he had to do, and he was impressive. And as you said, he was in shape like he always is, and did
Yeah, he was
and
typical,
went
the
to
typical, like I said, the typical Sean Porter, man.
yeah. And real quick, I want to say what's up to Nika, KO Merck saying what's up on here, and Marquise
Oh,
John
what's going
and
what's going
Marquise
on,
John
Mike?
saying what's up. So yeah, we're giving you guys shout
Oh,
outs right
so
here,
what's
man.
going on, Marquise, man?
Yeah. So man, what's going up this weekend? It's a week before your fight, but it's your Olympic teammate Jose Ramirez. Um,
Right.
should he win, there's that talk of obviously Josh Taylor, but there's a talk of your stablemate, Terrence Crawford. When you hear that, man, how knowing that you're cool and close with both of them, what's your thoughts on the fight? And how are you gonna be should that fight come up to
That's,
happen?
no, it's crazy. I'm cool. I'm cool with all three individuals.
Yeah,
Me and Josh, we actually fought each other in the amateurs. So me and Josh go way back. We're cool. Of course, Jose. Not only was he's my Olympic teammate, we was like roommates in like
yeah,
Olympic trials and world, and world tournaments and things of that nature. And like I said, of course, I'm with Bud all the time. But to me, I look at it. I don't. To me, I look at it as a sport.
yeah,
These guys are just fighting for greatness and their place in this sport. With their legacy. So I don't really dig too much into it.
yeah,
I don't act fake. I'm not. If I see Jose, I'm gonna still hug him. To
yeah,
ask how the family's doing and go from there. Same thing with Josh. If I see Josh, I'm be like, hey man, long time no see. How you been? We're gonna catch.
yeah,
We're gonna catch up. But like I said, I don't. It's not like it's a gang wars. But
yeah,
like, I mean, they're all good fights. They're all good
yeah,
fights. But I believe that Jose right now, his main focus is Josh.
yeah,
Taylor. And but he has a good fight. He has a good fight ahead of him with Victor Postal. Victor
yeah,
Postal is not a guy to be overlooked.
exactly.
Victor Postal isn't a guy that's you can basically say is a tune-up fight
Yeah,
going into a Josh Taylor fight. Victor
yeah,
Postal is still a live dog who's been if you look at he's been patient too, man.
yeah.
He's been
All
his fight's been
year.
postponed for like man. So like he's not going away. So you tell that tells you right there, man. This guy really wants to crack at these not at these belts. So
Yeah,
you gotta look at stuff like that as well. But It is what it is, man. I mean, like I said, I had to fight my own friend in my last fight. I mean, me and
Yeah,
Lamont Roach, we're cool. We got guys that we associate with. I seen some of them sided with him, but I didn't take it. I'm not gonna take it personal. I didn't take
yeah,
it personal. It is what it is. But yeah, man. Like I said, in the end, you seen it on Twitter. I gave Lamont Roach a birthday shout
yeah,
out. Told him that it was an honor to share the ring with him, and I said, hey man, you'll become a champion someday. Right now, just enjoy your time with the family and enjoy your day.
yeah.
That's how I went about things, man.
Yeah, and that's always been one of the things I really respect about you is you've never swayed about the way you are with who you know.
Nah.
When Jose fought Mike Reed, you were friends with both of them. You were talking about the fight. You were just like, hey, you were interested in it, and you sent something to Mike after the fight, and you sent something to Jose. So
Nah.
it just showed the type of person
I
you
mean,
are, and why
and
people
the
like
same
you
thing
so
goes with
much.
Errol. Yeah, and the same thing goes with Errol Spence.
Yeah,
Of course, there's another fact. I mean, me and Errol actually talk every other day. People don't know that. We actually talk a lot. Like, he'll hit me up. He'll look at everything I post on Instagram or whatever, my stories, and he'll comment, and we'll just kind of conversation from there. Like I said, I know his family. He has family in Long Island, where I'm from. So I'm real close with the family out there in that way. It's on his mother's side. I know his father. Like I said, we spent a lot of time as well as teammates and you at Team USA and World Camp. So I'm not gonna change the way I am towards Errol because okay, him and Bud want to fight each other. Like, hey man,
yeah,
it is what it is. Y'all want to fight for welterweight supremacy. Hey, that's
do
part.
it.
That's part of
Yeah,
this box. That's part of the sport. Do what you gotta do. But in the end, we can all, like I said, I'm still gonna kick it with you. If I see you in public, I'm not gonna, act like I don't know you.
yeah,
That just fake as hell. But
yeah,
but yeah, man, that's just me, man. That's just me. But you can't say the same for some other because I've seen people,
yeah,
flip on me. You know what I mean? Like they like I remember like guys like I mean we cleared it up recently, but like look at guys like Bell. These guys actually went to training camps with. And the minute you put them in that category for them to potentially fight me, whatever, it's like everybody wants, this side want to act like this towards you, and now
yeah,
you're ducking this person and that person. And same goes for Abraham Nova. I've been in camps for him. I sparred all these guys, but like I don't go out here mentioning what's been in camp and things like that because I
yeah,
don't have like even when I like Lamont Roach, you heard in that video we sparred each other, but I'm not going to go into details to try to belittle anybody. But
yeah.
some of these guys, man, they feel they gotta be this way now because you're competition and they feel like
Yeah.
they gotta be this way. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, and speaking of friends and competition, you just said, I know last time we talked, I mentioned JoJo to you. You guys, both of you,
Right.
when I've talked about it, you both said that would be extremely difficult. It'd be really hard because you guys are like brothers. You guys are
Right.
real close. But you guys both did give me the same answer. It'd be hard. It'd be difficult. But if the money's right, then hey, you guys both said the
Hey,
exact same thing, man.
it's business. Now, I think
Yeah,
if I see my brother JoJo, hey, like I said, I think my brother JoJo got a baby on the way too. So
yeah,
it's different when you got mouths to feed, man.
yeah,
Like me, like I know his father. I know I'm real cool with his father. I'm real cool with
yeah,
him. Like JoJo. I'm like true story, man. Like me and JoJo, we was about to fight. We was about to fight dudes out on the Vegas Strip together some
I
years back,
I
man.
heard that story.
Like me, it was me, JoJo, and Terrell Goucher.
Yeah,
And don't forget, we was out there in the Vegas Strip. This is the night of the Pacquiao Bradley, the first fight.
for
We was
some
out
okay.
there, whatever. We was working, and these dudes, I guess they try to I don't know why, but they try to test Terrell. So man, me and JoJo was like, hey, hold up, we
Yeah,
like, hey, we about to roll the sleeves up. We was like, hey, we can go around the corner, we can. But yeah, man, like me and JoJo, we been in like even out there in the UK, we almost had to get out there and duke it out with some people out there. But yeah, that's my like I said, man. In the end, I'm not gonna look at him different because of
yeah,
now he's in the same division as me. If anything, I'm saying I look at the ring ratings. I'm like, hey, I'm number three, he's number two, and
yeah,
then Miguel Betrell is number one. So I'm looking like I want that top spot. So if
yeah,
I gotta go through this person or that person, and like I said, the business side makes sense. Then we just got to do that because, like I said, everybody wants to be the best. You
yeah,
you see it on Twitter. I don't get into it, but like JoJo says that the division is his and things of that nature. It's things that
Yeah.
he said, but I don't look at it like that. So the only way we can prove it is if we start making these fights, though. Then we
Yeah.
we see who's really the man of the division. But
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, he's entitled to his opinion. Like, be the best. I want to be the best, and it is.
Yeah, and as you said, with Burchell, we know that more than likely that fight with Valdez is going to happen in November. JoJo still got to wait to see what happens with either with Tevin or with his mandatory, as you said. And then once you're doing with Quendo and then with Frampton, we'll see where it goes from there. But those fights, I'm hoping they get done because, hey, we're about to have another unified, undisputed 140-pound champion. So why not do it at 130 as well?
And 35. We would look
Oh
at
yeah,
it.
yeah,
I think that's why I'm more upset with the landscape at 130 right now because we like, especially like the whole Miguel Petrella situation. We have situations in scenarios where we can unify,
yeah,
but it's like these guys choose to do like I even said it like I'm cool with guys like Robert over there at Golden Boy and
yeah,
Robert and Eric and Eric Gomez. I'm fighting one of their guys now for this fight,
yeah,
Golden Boy fighter. So I don't have no issue doing business on that side of the street or whatever as they call it today.
yeah,
So I've basically been the only one in terms of being a champion at 130 that said I don't have no issue unifying with anybody out there. From the Leo Santa Cruz, Miguel Burchell, even my boy JoJo. If you know what I mean.
yeah,
If somehow they whatever happens with this fight with Tank and Leo, and they somehow how WBA works, and
yeah,
they elevate champion. If they somehow allow Rene Alvarado to be the full
champ,
super champ, whatever, I'll fight him too.
yeah,
But I think that's why I'm so frustrated with the whole landscape at 130 because I look at 135. Leo Santa Cruz. I mean, Teofimo, my boy Teofimo and Lomachenko, they're about to unify.
yeah,
Then the 140, my boys Jose and Josh, they're on the collision course to unify. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's like we and then it's like there's no excuse why we can't do the same thing at 130. Especially JoJo's with Golden Boy, but you clearly see that Golden Boy and Top Rank
can
been
work
working
together.
together pretty well
Yeah,
these past couple of years. I
yeah,
fought Lamont Roach, and then we had no issue making that fight.
yeah,
We didn't need no purse bids, anything like that. We made the deals without a purse bid. So like I don't see why what's the issue that we can't unify with these belts, but it
yeah.
is what it is.
And especially with you and Burchell being with Top Rank, Valdez moved up, yes, but before that, as you said, when you won the title, I believe, Burchell was there. He walked into the ring. He talked about it. You talked about unifying, and then it went away as his focus turned to Valdez. And I mean, it's a good fight. I mean, it's a big fight. As you said, you're getting your Frampton fight because you want that big name. So I could
Right.
understand where Burchell's coming from, but that was a unification fight. Unification
We had, we
over
had,
the
we had,
name.
we actually we actually had two times actually unified. If you look at it, if you do the timeline, like I said, when he basically called me out for
Yeah,
unification after I beat Ito, we would have fought in November. Remember, he
yeah,
fought. Remember afterwards he fought Jason Sosa a week
yeah.
before I fought. That could have easily been
The
right
unification.
there. And the WBO was actually going to allow me to bypass my man at the moment to make that fight happen. But since he went elsewhere, the WBO said, okay, well, Jamel, you got to fight your mandatory.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. But so after we both took care of business with that in that time frame, we were supposed to sit down and talk about unifying again. But then that's when that's when the Valdez situation came in,
yeah,
and that's when I had to basically get the Frampton fight. So I
yeah,
mean, I had nothing against Miguel Burchell because as you seen, I ran to him in Vegas, and it was no animosity or any bad blood. I look at that situation as the business side basically is what really got in
yeah,
the way of that fight. Way of that unification. I'm not going to sit there and say that the guy is scared or anything because I don't think any fighter is scared. Like I said, Miguel Bachola, he's number one for a reason. And
yeah,
he's the reason why I want to fight him because he's number one. But I think it's the people behind them for the most part that they want to go get like I said, well, boxing is business first, so they want to
Uh,
get the most buck out of the most
yeah,
money on the safer route. And I'm not knocking Oscar Valdez because I even tried to fight him, but I remember I was speaking to Espinosa, and they were real respectful. They was like, "Listen, champ, we respect what you're doing, but we want to go a different route." And that route was the
yeah,
whole Miguel Berchelt route. So I respect that, what I mean, because they came to me as men, but I've been trying to fight, this
yeah.
guy and that guy for the longest, man.
Uh,
People, you see, man, on Twitter, people they try to knock me like, "Oh, who are you?" And yeah, but hey, if that's the case, man, if I wasn't a nobody, I'd have been. You seen how they had like when Jeff Horn won the belt.
yep,
All the welterweights on the PBC side were calling out Jeff Horn. You know what I
yeah.
mean? The minute Bud gets the WBO title, nobody wants to touch the WBO title. So
And
that's
who's
how I
Jeff
look at it.
Horn?
Like if
Yeah,
I was, yeah, exactly. Now, if I was easy work, like when everybody's going after Jeff Horn, why has nobody came at me in terms of the champions? Like, oh, that's an easy belt to grab.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
yeah. And as you said, Twitter. I mean, they talk about people you're fighting, but yet they forget you actually called for all these fighters. Like, hey, let's do it, let's do it,
Right.
let's do it, and it never happened. So you're gonna do what you're gonna do exactly.
Oh yeah, because you seen it, bro. I was getting hell at first for the whole Kendall situation. I'm like,
Yeah,
did y'all forget though? Before the whole pandemic, I was gonna go straight into a Carl Frampton fight, and not only that, I was gonna fight Carl Frampton in his own
yep,
backyard. So it's like people tend to forget the facts, and they try to push their own agenda or
yep.
in a scenario. But like, it is what it is, man. Like, I mean, it's been documented. The story's been on the whole situation between myself and Berchelt alone. So
Yeah,
it's not like you can't just Google this stuff up now. And
yeah,
like he said it himself in a few times that, oh, at one point it was they want the unification. Then the next minute is I need to build my resume up now at
yeah,
130 as a champion in order to get the fight. So, but it's whatever, man. Right now, I just gotta just focus on me. I'm just grateful that I have the opportunity to have a big fight with Carl Frampton, but I have to still look at this whole Kendall situation as a serious fight
yeah,
before, because he can easily upset the plan.
yeah. And especially in this year of boxing, especially with last year, so
Oh
many
yeah,
upsets. I mean, the bubble had so many upsets this past few months. So there was just one
right.
on Saturday. Joe Smith Jr. What he did to Alvarez.
Hey, I wasn't surprised. I'm not saying that because me and Joe actually grew up in the same area, and we actually started boxing in the same gym. You know what it is like I just looked at you gotta look at like you said, like you mentioned, Alvarez has his ups and downs. So
Yeah,
they was more like I said, they was right. They was more concerned on which Alvarez you're gonna get because we know what Joe Smith is gonna
yeah,
bring. Joe Smith is he's a worker. He's gonna just keep coming and coming, so I wasn't really surprised. I was just more concerned on which Alvarez are we going to
yeah,
get. And like I said, man, it looked like we got basically like father time
yep,
quarter with Alvarez. That because he was sharp in the beginning. He was catching Joe with some good
yeah,
counters and everything, but he just couldn't keep that dude off him.
yeah. And that was my thing. Was I was impressed and surprised at the manner and way he won. It wasn't the fact that he won because I actually thought he was going to knock him out. I said Joe Smith will probably knock him out later rounds somewhere because
Right.
it's gonna be a scrap. But he just dominated him, throughout the whole fight. Worked him, outboxed him. Everything he could do, he did. And I mean, the knockout
Yeah.
came with the jab as well. So it's kind of like, man. So that's what impressed me was the fashion, the way he did it, not the fact that he won.
Right.
Yeah. So, as you said, anything could happen in boxing, and yeah, shout out to Raging Babe Michelle Rosado as she called it Strong Island for Joe Smith. Yeah, I was like, okay, I like that one. Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, that was pretty slick. But yeah, I mean, there was great fights on Saturday. Hey, make sure you take the phone away from Bob this weekend during the fights because man, what he did
Obama ain't
the
got no filter, man. He
what
ain't
he
got no
did the
filter,
white
man.
was. I
I
just
stay,
sat
I
there and I
stay,
looked at
listen,
my phone.
man.
I
When
was
I
like,
see him,
dude.
he don't care, man. He
Yeah,
don't, yo, he don't care, man.
that was up there with the one he made about the UFC fighters back in the day. That one was cold.
Oh,
I was
Yeah, I ain't gonna be out there. Yeah, that one.
I'm not gonna say that it was just funny the way he said it, but this one, I was like,
He
dude,
was dead serious.
yeah. At first, I was like, someone's got to be making this, and then there goes Evan. I just want to let you know that that's Bob and Bob only. I was like, oh man,
That's all Bob, man.
Because I've heard him say things, so it's funny. So I figured that could be him, but then it was like Evan was like, I just want to confirm, that that's all him. And I was like,
Hey,
take
Bob
this
was
phone
funny
away.
too. He punched me in my stomach the last time I seen him in Vegas when I ran to Carl Frampton. Because remember I kept patting his head.
Oh yeah.
When the cameras stopped, when the cameras had stopped, he had hit me with a good uppercut to the stomach. I wasn't expecting. I was like, hold on, man. So yeah, Bob, she's a sharp dude, man, a sharp old man.
Yeah. You know what the funniest stories with him is? He was talking to somebody. He had like an interview when he was here in Fresno once, but somebody had called him to ask him about marijuana usage, and he's talking about, well, how do you think I stay so active and everything? And my lady was with me, and she heard me, and she was like, he smokes weed, and I was like, yeah. I was like, that's what he does. She was like, oh, well, when we get inside into the hotel room that we're at, they were talking about, not the hotel, the event place that was holding the press conference. They gave him a big old thing of fruit, and his eyes lit up. And my girl goes, "Oh, it's because he's gonna get high and he's gonna eat that mango later tonight. Watch," because he was so pumped up about the fruit, he was just holding on to it. She's like, "Yeah, he's already dreaming about what he's gonna do." But
yeah, Bob is a real one, man. Despite anything, like I said, man, he's a good dude.
Bob is an amazing dude. He's one of the funniest and realest people I've ever met, man. He's just
he's gonna speak. Yeah, he's gonna speak his mind.
Yeah, he's gonna say what he feels, no matter what you feel. He don't, as you said, he has no filter. So I mean, that white tweet that he sent probably isn't even the top 20 things that he's ever said in his life, but it was funny as hell to me.
Hell no, shoot. What Dana White said about Oscar over the weekend, that was cold. That was cold blooded, man.
Yeah. And it's funny.
He beat Bob. He beat Bob with that one comment on that for the weekend.
Yeah, exactly. But what's funny is, I know damn well if Oscar was to walk up to Dana, Dana's not gonna say that again. But no, the comment wise,
I keep forgetting. He got that left hook.
Yeah,
leave Oscar the hell alone, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. He's training for his comeback too. I don't know how I feel about that, but no matter what, like we always say, the last thing to go is your power.
It's the power, yeah, man. But Oscar, he better use his Robert to get him a good matchmaker. Robert's a good matchmaker, so he better pick the right opponent for that one. But I'm about tired of this whole thing, man.
Yeah. Yeah, well, look, the Tyson and Joan one, it's like the last, because people were like, oh, well, Roy Jones is this, Roy Jones is that, Mike is this, Mike is that. I was like, hey, I love them both, but the last time we saw each of them in the ring, they were on their backs, and it wasn't it was a close fight.
Like you point out though, man, the last thing that goes is that punch, and like, hey, for one, Roy was never a natural heavyweight.
Yeah,
that's for starters. Two, Mike been looking real vicious in them training videos too, man. So I'm like, I don't care what y'all say. Mike Tyson don't know nothing. He don't know no damn difference between a fight and exhibition.
Look what he did to Corey Sanders.
Listen, all he knows is just gloves and
He almost knocked out Corey Sanders in their little exhibition with headgear on.
Hey, man, listen, man. Roy out there, I don't know. I'm not impressed with, I love Roy and everything, but I'm not impressed with his little training. Like, he trying to show speed, but it's like, Roy, that's not 1995, 96 Roy Jones in there, man. Say if they want Roy's like I said, they both have fights where they've been beaten by guys lesser, but it seems like Roy has been like on the worst end of those fights, man. Especially the one with Roy get touched. It's like Roy get touched and he's going down. Well, man, listen, this. I don't care. It's still Mike Tyson.
Exactly.
You want to fight, like I said, you can say how old. You don't care. I don't care how old he is. But like you said. Same thing you mentioned with Dana White and Oscar De La Hoya. If you see Mike Tyson in the street, would you disrespect him in the street?
No.
Hell no.
I'd give him a hug and be like, "Hey man, how's it going?" Hey, like honestly, I know it was a funny movie, but like in The Hangover, remember when he knocks what's his name out?
Oh,
What's the other dude?
he knocked his ass coach.
Yeah. What's the other dude say? Oh man, he still got it. Exactly. There's the last
Exactly.
thing that's gonna go. So that was my thing. Is they both were knocked out in their last fight, but I'm more worried for Roy because Mike don't know the difference between
Yeah,
exhibition.
Yeah, it just like it seems like Roy's punch resistance has always been an issue
Yeah,
in the latter stages of his career.
yeah.
Ever since the Tara fights,
Since
his punch.
since he went from heavyweight back down to light heavyweight, it looked like
Yeah,
he lost it all.
it didn't do him any justice.
Yeah,
That weight cut didn't do him, and it seems like he's been downhill from there. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
yeah, and that's why when people were pumped up about it, I was like, man, I don't want to see that because my thought is, what if Mike really hurts him? Because as I said, it's not an exhibition. You could call it what you want to call it, but once someone gets hit for real, I mean, look what Mayweather did to that kid in Japan. Once that kid hit him one good time, Mayweather was like, okay, you know what? We were here to play, but you really hit me now. So now imagine doing that to Mike Tyson. So yeah, like
Yeah,
you said,
man.
man.
Listen, you hit Mike Tyson. Oh, look, the flip, the switch gonna flip on. I don't
Exactly.
care. Listen, we're not gonna get none of that flashy, bro. Listen, the reflexes is going too now, Roy. We
Yeah.
ain't gonna get none of that flashy. Y'all must have forgotten this. Nah, man,
Yeah.
y'all must have forgot who's in front of you.
Yeah. Because all it takes is that quick little head move and left hook, and all right, man. Let's see how he's doing
You know how
after
Mike
that.
move, Mike sway, you gonna
Yeah.
sway under the left.
If he lands that uppercut, man.
It's the left, yeah, left of the body and left.
No. Yeah, and that's the thing, man. It's like I love Roy. He was one of the best fighters I've ever seen. But Mike is a completely different
A
animal.
dog.
Yes.
A dog.
Do you go into the ocean with blood coming out of your leg and attempt to mess with the shark? No, that's what you're doing here with Mike. So
Like he said, listen, he even said it himself and recently, like all he knows is that they putting on gloves and it's a
yeah.
fight. He don't give it. It could have been a charity fight. It's still a fight. And Mike
All
don't
right.
give it. Mike Tyson is Mike Tyson.
Yeah, it's think about it is imagine that would have been for charity in front of some kids. Mike just go out there.
Man, listen.
Oh man, would have terrified him.
Listen, man, Mike, yeah, man. I want to see, but this is why I want to see all the other fights. I don't really care for. I don't like. I'm not here. Like I love Oscar De La Hoya. I'm not here for the Oscar comeback. But when it's Mike Tyson involved, I don't give a damn what nobody says. People will tune in because it's
Yes,
Mike Tyson. I
it's
don't
Mike
care what
Tyson.
anybody says.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah,
And-
I will tune in to see if the way he was hitting them pads these past few months. I want to see him bring that into the
Yeah.
ring, and I'm just sorry that Roy got to be the one to experience.
Yeah.
I don't give it. Listen, because he gonna in boxing you gonna get hit, so
Yep.
he's gonna touch Roy. He's gonna touch Roy. He's gonna find him, and I don't think the thing is. I don't think Roy had the legs to basically stick and move all day
The
night
whole
from
night,
Mike
yeah.
Tyson. All that whole slap pop. Listen. Mike gonna weave his little ass in there. He gonna weave his way in there.
Oh man.
We gonna see what's real then.
Yeah. If I'm watching, I'm gonna be like this, like oh, damn it, you right?
I'm telling you, I'm not getting up for nothing because that's still a Mike Tyson fight, and it can end like that.
Exactly. Sean Fitzgerald right here says after the Macaronelli fight for Roy, he did end with a couple W's, and that is right. But he wasn't exactly.
It's still Mike Tyson,
Exactly.
people. and what weight are they fighting at? They fighting at, I'm pretty sure, heavyweight.
They're fighting at Mike's natural weight, not Roy's.
Thank you.
Roy's a
I
lot
don't want to hear
bigger
that. I don't
now.
want to hear that.
Yeah, but Mike's always been at that weight. So, hey, it is what it is. It's going to draw the eyes. People are going to watch it. But as you said, it's one of those, man. So, real quick, as you know, I always ask these type of questions. So, my last question for you is, any fight of any time, any era that you would have loved to have been at in person?
The been at in person, I'd have to say the Corrales Castillo fight, the famous one.
Yeah,
The famous
first
one.
one, yes.
Chico's always been one of my favorite fighters, and it's crazy. I try to emulate my run at 130
Yeah.
because of guys like that. Because Chico was a tall, big
Yeah.
super featherweight as well. I mean, at one point. So I try to like not model my eyes in my career like him because Chico was Chico, but like
Yeah.
I think about guy those fights. They
Yeah.
had a lot of good fights. They had a lot of good fights that when and like from Castillo to all of them,
Yeah.
Casamayor. They had a lot of good fight between those
Yeah, between
individuals
them.
at one point in time too. So, but yeah, I look at days like that, and I like it's crazy. Like boxing is in so much of a different landscape than it
Yeah.
was then. Because like I said, you even had like the smaller promoters like a Gary Shaw, but he had big fighters,
Yeah.
and they were still working, with like big promoters like Top Rank.
Yeah.
And it's like now it's like it's too many egos involved, and everyone then you don't even have to deal with the ego so much now. Now you got to deal with the TV networks nowadays as well. So that plays a lot into today than what it was back then.
Yeah. And Sean said, "Yes, sir. It's still Mike Tyson."
Thank you. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm pretty. I know Nika saying that for sure.
Yeah.
I know
Yo,
she's
definitely.
definitely saying Mike. I know
She
she's definitely saying Mike Tyson.
Man, she's in love with Mike Tyson. So
That's her guy. That's her
yes.
guy.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, when it happens, and I just hope
I'm
everyone comes
watching.
out healthy.
I'm watching.
I hope they come out
I'm
healthy.
watching. Yeah, that's the main thing. I hope everybody comes out intact.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely gonna tune in.
Yeah. I'll probably turn it in because it'll be, I think, late November now. So yeah, I'll probably catch it. And yeah, Nike, because she said I love Mike. So yeah.
That's a no-brainer, Nike. That's a no-brainer, Nike. We
Yeah.
know that. I know that. Come on.
Yeah, we know it, man. So, again, man, Jamel, thank you for coming on. Appreciate it again. Good luck to you next week, and we're gonna have you back on again soon, probably before the Frampton fight. Should you win, we'll get you back on,
Oh,
man.
I'm coming back, bro.
Yeah,
I'm coming back.
definitely.
I'm coming back.
As always, like I told you, man, it's 26 Sports, but today it's always featuring the Jamel Herring show, as we know.
Oh yeah, bro. Like I said, man. I just want to give a shout out to everybody who supported me, man. Like I said, I wish you nothing but love and success on your future endeavors with the show and everything, man. That's why I say, hey, anytime you need me, bro. Like you know me, man.
Yeah,
I'm in the end of my camp, but I still want to
yeah,
make time to speak to a good dude, a good friend. Shout out to
appreciate it.
if you're YouTubers out there watching, make sure you follow Knockouts with Nika. She's doing a good thing with her
Yes,
with her brand as well. So give Nika some love and subscribe to her page. My man Marquise always shows love. But
yeah,
yeah, my Twitter gang, man. My
yeah,
Twitter gang, man. I appreciate y'all.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely,
man. If anybody wants to hit me up at Jamel Herring. Like I said, Mike, you can vouch for me, man. I
definitely,
speak with everybody, bro,
yeah.
fans and everything. But that's just me. But let's tune in September 5th. Definitely. Let me. Hopefully, I gotta fight the COVID test first again. But once we get that out the way, we're gonna handle business and finally get this fight out the way, man.
No, you're gonna be good this time, man. There's no way that could happen again, man. They got to do
I just pray
everything.
for my man. I just pray for my man Robert Garcia.
Yes,
My man Robert Garcia and his team, man. That's my main thing going to this week. I hope there's no setbacks,
yeah,
with Jose and everything. So, like I said, shout out to the Garcia camp and wish them nothing but love and success. And like I said, man, just tune in. There's a lot of great fights this weekend and the following weekend afterwards.
yeah, definitely, man. And hopefully once all this clears out, man, if you guys allow it, I'd love to come out to your camp, man, and hopefully get some interviews with you guys out there too.
Hey man, hey, we camp open. We open. We always open, bro. We always open. I'm telling you right
Okay.
now, our doors are always open. We don't. There's none of that ego Hollywood shit over. Nah, bro. If you want to
Yeah.
come out, let me know ahead of time. We can set it up.
Okay, man. I'm definitely gonna have to go take a trip out there and see what's going on with you guys.
All right, bro.
I appreciate it. All right, well, thank you again, guys, for following 26 Sports. My man Jamel Semper Herring, September 5th, ESPN main event. WBO championship will be on the line. We'll catch you guys next time, guys. Appreciate you guys for tuning in.
Salute.
Yep.